Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 9 September 2021. It's Thursday night, 9 o'clock. Time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel. This one being administered from a cabin in East Tennessee on the Cherahalla Skyway next to a river. It's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it. I hope you do too. Please note, because of my location and the fact that I'm in Tennessee riding motorcycles for a few days, knives purchased during this sale will ship on Tuesday, the 14th. So please, I hope you watch this and don't send me emails on Monday panicking for tracking numbers because you usually have your knife by now. They will ship on Tuesday, the 14th, and there will be no next day sharpening this week. So if you buy a knife to be sharpened, expect it to ship in about 3 weeks. Okay, the usual stuff now. First of all, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I will throw them up on the screen for you in just a moment, and then I will reprint them in the description underneath this video. Also in the description, 3 links to prior videos on the Apostle P channel. The first, my primer for buyers. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. Please watch that if you're new to this weekly event. It is worth watching. It explains the whys and wherefores of how we do things on this sale. The second link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. That is a nuts and bolts video from the consignors perspective. If you're interested in using this weekly sales event to move along some of your collection, that video explains how it works. And the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the Apostle P Knife Service, the original online sharpening service for the online knife community. Okay, I think that's it for housekeeping, guys. Oh, at the bottom of the description, you're going to find tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps and pricing. Number to the left of the slash, your as shown price. Number to the right is your as sharpened by the Apostle P Knife Service price. Okay? I think it's time to get the terms up on the screen, and we'll be right back with the inventory. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we've got a few leftovers from last week at some screaming deals. Let's get to those first. First up, you'll remember this one from last week. This is the Junkers Bauhaus 6030-2 watch. German made with a Swiss ETA manual wind movement. Non-hacking, by the way. Very cool watch, 40 millimeters in diameter with a very short 43 millimeter lug-to-lug dimension. Just 8 millimeters thick, including that very nicely boxed plexiglass or acrylic crystal. Gray dial, rose gold hands and markers. Display case back showing off that ETA movement. A very nicely made glove leather strap. I think it even says made in Germany. Whoop, I gotta have it right side up. There you go. Condition on this one is going to be near mint, no box. There are some scratches, hard to see in the video, in that plexiglass crystal, but Polywatch will take good care of that. This watch sold new for $9.99. We ran it last week at $4.95, got no takers, dropped it to $4.50. This week, somebody gets a screaming deal. $3.99 shipped priority mail on the Junkers Bauhaus watch. Next up, please show this some love, guys, from K-Bar. Part of their Master Series and the TDI series, to be precise. You got some paperwork in a bubble wrap baggie, and then you got this. A very cool molded plastic sheath, Molly compatible. Although it looks like a Tonto on the sheath, it's not. This is the Spear Point TDI. It's the model 1482, which is the large TDI. Blade is Aus 8. Saber hollow ground out of some pretty chunky, looks like 3/16 stock. Got the crinkle coat epoxy finish, removable FRN scales. Blade length on the TDI 3 5/8, handle 4 5/8. I'm going to call this one near mint in the wrong box because it's got the wrong model number on it. Maybe it was for the Tonto, I don't know. Anyhow, these sell for about 50 bucks at your favorite web retailer. We ran this one last week at $40 shipped priority mail, dropped it to $30 on Saturday. Somebody please love this poor knife. 25 bucks shipped priority mail, 45 with an Apostle P edge. That's the K-Bar 1482 large TDI. Next up, I can't believe you lefties slept on this last week, but you get another chance. From Spyderco, back in the early days, with the little tiny blue box with like a gum wrapper, tinfoil and wax paper inside. It's the model 1003L-SER. That is the Clipit Hunter left-handed with the serrated edge. And I'm going to open this left-handed because it just needs to be. There you go, boys. Unknown stainless, whatever they were using back in the day. 2 7/8 inches of spider edge. 3 7/8 inches of beautiful, almost organic stainless steel. Unmarked, virtually, best I can tell, and that fine satin. Lockup is rock solid. Action nice and smooth. Blade centering is down the middle. That, my friends, is a piece of history. Is it the left-handedness that stopped you last week? Let's face it, you're not going to carry it and use it. Might be worth more that way. I don't know. Anyhow, it's unobtainium. I could find no comps. We ran it last week at $200. Didn't sell, dropped it to $175 on Saturday this week. A piece of modern knife history. This is like buying the original Glock pistol, right? This week, $150 shipped priority mail. I'm not going to sharpen it. It doesn't need to be touched. That's the Spyderco Clipit Hunter stainless steel, left-handed. Next up, again, lefties asleep at the switch from Great Eastern Cutlery. The Great Eastern Cutlery trademark. That means we have a stainless steel knife. And inside this tube, this is a 2007 model of number 23M LH in Green Mountain Bone. Serial number 9. I'm not sure how many they made. Do I know how many they made? I don't know. Not very many. Here's the knife. 14 years old and as close to like new in the tube as you're going to find. Look at that bone. Look at that acorn. The closed end to keep debris out of the mechanism on the 23. You have a main blade drop. I'm sorry, that's the secondary spay. Look at the Cyclops edge. The reason the secondary spay is first up is because it's left-handed. Because it really wants you to grab the drop point main first. Oh, it's 1 of 50, so it's number 9 of 50. And there is your Great Eastern Cutlery trademark etch. Is that a drop point or is it a muskrat clip? I don't know. Anyway, pull weight, I'm going to call it a 7.5. Walk and talk and centering are beautiful. As close to new as I think you're going to find. There are no comps for this knife. Can't find one that sold. We ran it last week at $295. Didn't sell. Dropped it to $265 on Saturday. Still here. 4 7/16 inches of it. This week, $225 shipped by Priority Mail. $255 with Apostle P edges on both blades. That's the GEC Acorn number 23M LH Trapper. Next up, we're into the fresh stuff now, and this one, guys, is a piece of worldwide cutlery history. From Gerber Legendary Blades, just check out the box. We have a Silver Knight, the model 200A, wood scaled, a nearly pristine box from what, back in the 80s? Inside comes a pristine knife. The Silver Knight, the short variety, this one is 2.5 inches of closed length, stainless steel satin bolsters, gorgeous solid wood, not a laminated product. And then this diminutive little blade, which locks up with a beautiful little snick. Some kind of stainless steel. Gerber, Portland, Oregon, tang stamped on one side and then on the other. Silver Knight by Sakai, Japan. Beautifully, beautifully made little knife. Everything perfect on this thing, guys. Lockup is perfect. Centering's beautiful. Just a gorgeous little time capsule of a knife. We're calling this like new in box. I think this is a deal. I couldn't really find a comp, but how about $55, guys? Double nickels, and then $70 if you'd like me to sharpen it. Probably ought to just leave this alone. That's the Gerber 200A Silver Knight. Next up, another piece of history. From Buck Knives, the Outdoor Series. Not the Tactical Series. I don't know, it might be part, maybe it's an everyday, I don't know. Anyway, inside we have a 307 Wrangler B307-00-0. I believe these were made by Camillus for Buck, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it's a standard big old Stockman, working man's knife. Nickel silver bolsters, brass liners, saw cut dull ring covers. 4 1/4 inches closed. Got a main clip on a cam tang, about a 6.5 pull, long pull cut swedge. Stellar walk and talk. In the center we got a sheep's foot, and on the back, I guess it's a little spay. All satin finished. I believe these are carbon, or no, I think they're stainless steel blades. So yeah, about a 6.5 pull. Beautiful cam tang walk and talk. We'll call it near mint to like new in the box. Made in America. How about $50? Shipped Priority Mail. $85 with my edge on all 3 blades. That is the Buck 307 Wrangler. Next up, pair of beauties. I'm going to list them separately though. First up, we have a Boy Scouts of America Stockman, manufactured by Camillus. And this one in the white jigged Delrin is going to come with, read this about your official knife, mark of excellence, quality and performance. The little Boy Scout knife brochure. Oops, there we go. So yeah, the Boy Scout Stockman, 3 9/16 inches in closed length, little swell center affair. White jigged Delrin, cam tang, main clip, long match striker pull. Of course, you got to strike the matches for the Boy Scouts. I'm going to say about a 7 pull, a nice walk and talk. These blades I believe to be carbon steel, thus the little bit of spotting. So you got a clip, a sheep, and another little clip. Okay. Very, very nice condition. I'm going to call this one excellent to near mint. It looks like it had been sharpened, but very lovingly. Your price on the white one, 30 bucks, guys. 30 like it is, 65 with Apostle P edges on all 3 blades. That's in your inventory as the Camillus BSA Stockman White. Next up, same knife, different color covers. So this is a Boy Scouts of America, made by Camillus. Stockman. This one's got black jigged Delrin covers, nickel silver bolsters, brass liners, the Boy Scouts of America shield. Main clip, about a 6.5, maybe a 7 pull. Long match striker pull. Cut swedge. Beautiful cam tang action. Secondary coping blade. And a little clip. Used and sharpened. Looks like the Delrin might have shrunk a little bit, but overall excellent condition. Let's see, carbon steel blades, 3 9/16 inches of closed length. This one can be yours, $25, guys, 25, and then 60 for me to sharpen all 3 blades. This is in your inventory as Camillus BSA Stockman BK for black. Next up, we had a couple of these Winchester black box knives last week, and we got a couple more this week. These knives were made in the 90s by Queen Cutlery, Titusville, Pennsylvania, officially licensed by Winchester. They all came in a black box. Model number on this one is the 2904.5 Slimline Trapper with some very dark brown, beautiful jigged bone covers. This Slimline Trapper is 3 15/16 inches in closed length. Brass liners, nickel, silver hardware. And I want you to look at this main blade, guys. The forward nick, the big deep cut swedge, and the saber grind on the carbon steel blade. What a piece of work, Mr. Howard. About a 7 pull. Nice snap, and then watch this secondary spay. Look at that swale in the spine. Isn't that gorgeous? Looks like it might have been rubbing the liner a little bit. Beautiful polish though overall on those blades. Gorgeous example. Near mint to like new. Sold listings on eBay for this knife between 84 and 115. We're going to do this one at 85 bucks, guys. 85 like it is, 115 my edge on both blades. That's in your inventory as the Winchester 2904.5 Slimline Trapper. Next up, man, what a beauty. Another black box Winchester made by Queen back in the Bill Howard days. We have a 2903 Swell center jack. An opposite end swell center jackknife with gorgeous figuring and gorgeous jigging in those bone covers. Nickel, silver, and brass hardware. So it's an opposite end knife. Main spear, rubbing the liner a little bit, as most of your linerless congressing patterns will do. Carbon steel blades, cam tang, decent walk and talk, not stunning, but not bad. A little secondary pen. Overall condition, we're going to say, we'll call it excellent to near mint. Not new, but pretty doggone nice. Let's see, we'll say, oh, this one's got a little bit of light spotting on the spine of that main blade. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. But anyway, let's do on this one, and guys, there's sold listings on eBay between 80 and 110 for this knife. But let's do 75 on this one. 75, and then 100, I sharpen both blades. That is the Winchester 2903 Swell Center Jack. Next up, since we've been talking about the Queen factory in Titusville, let's just sell a Queen knife. This is going to be a Queen number 19 Slimline Trapper in peach jigged bone. Not peach seed, I wouldn't say, but peach in color, right? And it's got the Bowie shield. So that's 4 1/8 inches of closed length. You've got a main muskrat clip and a secondary spay. Something kind of interesting I thought about this knife is that it appears that my consignor, who might just be let's say he might have close ties to a knife factory that does full height convex grinding. It looks to me like this is a convex regrind, probably done at Bark River Knives, maybe by a guy named Skittles. I can neither confirm nor deny that, but it's pretty obviously a Bark River convex regrind. Now I will tell you this, right about where my thumbnail is a little tiny chip where there looks to be a little blade wrap. About one more sharpening would probably take care of that. I think you can see the reflection. Anyway, so we've got a nice 7, maybe a 7.5 pull. Nice cam tang walk and talk. Secondary space, same grind. Beautiful. Nice blade centering. Condition on this one, definitely near mint. Regrind noted. With the box. That is the Queen at number 19 Slimline Trapper. Your price $40, shipped priority mail, and then $70 if you'd like me to sharpen both blades. And if I sharpen it, I will make sure you got no blade wrap when it comes. That's the Queen number 19 Slimline Trapper. Next up, we got a little case run coming. We're going to start it off with one from their Pocket Worn series. This knife by the Tang Stamp, made between 1997 and 1999. It's the 61-549 SS Copperlock with nickel silver bolsters and end caps, brass liners, and red jig bone covers. Single lock blade, clip point, long pull cut swedge, rock solid lockup, nice smooth action, centering close, we'll say, close. I didn't measure this one, must be a little over 4 inches, I guess. We'll say this one's excellent in box. It's got some evidence of carry, but it's a pocket worn knife. It ought to, right? Let's see. Found one of these of the same vintage sold on eBay for $70. Let's just do $50 on this one. $50 shipped priority mail. That is the Case 61-549 SS Copperlock. Next up, got another one from Case. And this is the first of 2 same model number knives. So this is going to be the Case 6249 SS Copperhead number 1. Okay, 2 blades. I'm wondering if that's even in the right box. I don't know. But here's the knife. So the Copperhead, much like the Copperlock, sans lock, of course. And this is going to be a 2-blade knife, beautiful red jig bone covers, nickel, silver, and brass hardware. Main clip point on a half stop, beautifully done, in true sharp stainless, full height hollow ground. And notice the very interesting, this sort of falls into the miscellaneous tang stamp category. Case Brothers Cutlery Company. That means that these were made between 2003 and 2007. No dots, so you just know they're somewhere in that range. Anyway, these are 3 15/16 inches in closed length. You've got a beautiful half stop action, about a 6.5 pull. Secondary is a beautiful large pen blade. Blade centering on both blades is really, really good. We're going to call this one excellent to near mint in box. And your price on it is going to be $55, guys. Double nickels. And one thing I don't know if you're going to pick up, you'll see it better on the second one. But in that jigging are some case script C's. And like I said, you're going to see it better on the second knife. But it's kind of a nice little Easter egg. So $55 like it is. $85 I sharpen both blades. That's the Case 6249 SS Copperhead #1. Next up, another one from Case, and this is the twin to the last knife. So this is in the right box for sure. Another 6249 SS Copperhead with old red jig bone. And this one you can really see the C's in the jigging. And there you go. Very cool. So 3 15/16 inches of closed length. Nickel silver bolsters and end caps, brass liners. Main clip point blade, full height hollow ground. The Case and Sons, or Case Brothers Cutlery Company, tang stamp, which means 2003 to 2007 production. It's got a silky walk and talk, about a 6.5 pull. Big large pen blade. That looked a little lazy closing, didn't it? Yeah, not quite the best walk and talk. I could probably shoot a little oil in there. This one probably in a little nicer shape than the first one, so we're going to do $5 more on this one. We'll call it near mint in box. Your price $60 as it is, and then $90 for me to sharpen both blades. That's in your inventory as Case 6249 SS Copperhead #2. Okay, we've been in the 90s, we've been in the early 2000s. Next up, we have an iconic case knife made in 1975-ish, if my dot count is correct. This is the Case 6275 SP Moose. A gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous serpentine moose pattern, 4 1/4 inches in length, and I think it's old red jig bone. And there's your tang stamp, Case XX USA, 5 dots. So I think that means 75-ish. I'm not sure if they had descending or ascending dot counts, but it puts it in the middle of the decade, right? This, I believe, is carbon steel by the spotting. That's what cam tang action's supposed to be right there. A solid 7 pull, perfect walk and talk. Yep. Ah, what a beauty. We're going to say this one is excellent, no box. What a beautiful pocket knife. Your price on this one is going to be $110. $110 like it is. $140 for me to sharpen both blades. Sorry about that little blur right there. So $110 like it is, $140 sharpen on the case 6275 SP Moose. Next up, a very similar knife to the last one in color and vintage. Again, it's going to be a mid-70s knife. I'll show you the tang stamp when I open it, but it's kind of, again, got that old red jig bone, and look at the figuring in that bone. Beautiful. Nickel silver bolsters, brass liners, including the center wedge spacer. That means, yep, it's a split back Whittler. Main clip point. And there is your tang stamp. Case XX USA, and there are 5 dots down there, hard to see. So it's a mid-70s knife. Beautiful cam tang action. Nice walk and talk. Secondary clip. Whoops. And a secondary coping blade. This one's been used and sharpened, but lovingly so. Just look again at the split back. And I will tell you guys, it's not the nicest example I've ever seen. There's a little gap in that center liner. I'm not sure if the camera's really picking that up well, but now it doesn't stick up. There's just a little bit of light on either side of that wedge. I don't think that translated to... Now, there's no side play. So it's squared away mechanically. Just not the best example we've ever seen. Not a bad one, though. 3 7/8 inches your closed length. Your price, $80. 80 like it is, $115. I sharpen all 3 blades. That is the case 6380 Whittler. Next up, we're coming into more of the modern age here. Definitely in the 20 teens. Another case knife. You're going to see in the model number, there's a TB. That means it's a Tony Bose design. So it's a TB 101546 SS. That makes it a back pocket in stainless. This one has carbon fiber covers and a shadow bolster, meaning no bolster per se, just a flush pin. And a beautiful Tony Bose muskrat. Yeah. About a 7.5 pull. Perfect walk and talk. Centering is close. And a nice little twisted leather braided lanyard. Beautiful. This is near mint to like new in box. I found one of these in a sold eBay listing. Only one at $85. This one can be yours. $75 shipped priority mail. $95 with an ApostleP edge. That's the case TB 101546 SS back pocket CF. Next up, this might be the most interesting knife in tonight's sale. So it comes in a plastic display box that I think used to have a hinge but no longer working, so now it just kind of falls apart. It's got that sort of blown on velvet coated plastic inner. Now this is from Explorer Knives / Caribou Knives, and it's going to say Zolingen, crafted in Germany with double extra sharp blades. And what you've got here, I think, is a third-party brand Puma-made folding hunter. So that handle shape should scream a Puma, but you've got your Explorer Zolingen round shield. Solid wood covers. I can't tell you what kind of wood they are. Definitely not a laminated product. Nickel silver bolsters. brass liners, and one of the best folding hunter mechanisms ever. As soon as you open it, you went, oh, Puma made that. Rock solid lockup, dead smooth action, nice thunk when it locks open. Beautifully centered blade, and just take a look at the etching on the blade. Number 30 of 970, handcrafted in Germany. Explorer Zollingen / Caribou, extra sharp stainless. Got your long pole. Very hard to show that etch on the camera. Backside sterile. Beautiful knife. Let's see, dimensions. Oh, 3 3/4 blade and a 4 7/8 inch handle. Beautiful, beautiful knife. Near mint in the box. Unobtainium. Could not find this knife anywhere. I have no idea what it's worth. Let's try 80 bucks. That might be a deal. 100 if you'd like me to sharpen it. That's the Explorer Caribou Folding Hunter. Next up, this one doesn't have a box, but it's got everything else. Any Cold Steel fans out there? Any old Cold Steel fans out there? Look at this. Oh. Now, when I look at that package, I'm thinking Japanese fighting knife, but it's not called that. Beautifully made black leather sheath, dual position belt loops. They call this the Outdoorsman. Doesn't look like an Outdoorsman to me. It looks like a fighting knife, but anyway. What was that knife they made? The folder that had that blade, the swedge. Help me out, guys. Well, I don't remember. But this is the Outdoorsman, and just check out the tank stamps. Made in Japan. Outdoorsman by Cold Steel Inc., Ventura, California. Now, this appears to have some horizontal satin applied by Scotch-Brite. This knife's been used, it's been sharpened. It's not factory fresh. Nice edge. Tapered handle, stainless steel hardware. Something like Craton, and it's really grippy. 5 5/8 blade, 5-inch handle. We're going to call it excellent, no box. That's a piece of Cold Steel history. Let's do 175 like it is, 205 with my edge on it. These knives are selling on eBay, and more than a few of them, between $190 and $400. But this one can be yours. Shipped, priority mail, $175. Next up, here is an interesting knife with a bit of a story. You have a fold-over Bushcraft style sheath with a fire steel loop, no fire steel included. Inside that, you have a knife designed by one Reed Hyken, formerly of Sharpshooter Sheaths in the Outpost in Escanaba, now of the Mantuary. Now, those of you who know about Reed know that he's a close friend of Mike Stewart, Bark River Knives. And this was a production run of a knife that Reed designed. Bark River produced them. It's the Reed Hyken Knives Bushcrafter. I've handled Reed's prototype of this knife, and it's a beauty. The handle is an absolute work of art. So you have kind of a high Scandivex on a 4 1/8 inch CPM 154 blade. Is it a drop point? Is it a subtle clip? I'm not sure, but it sure does work. It's beautiful in the hand, guys. 4 1/8 also on the handle length. Natural canvas micarta, orange liners. And it's fat. This consignor likes a large handle. So it's a little fatter than the normal one. He had this custom assembled by Skittles at Bark River. And he's left-handed, so the sheath that it came with is left-handed, but then I'm going to also include a right-handed leather sheath as well. So you get both. And these knives sold for like $250, $260 at your favorite web retailer. I think DLT and Knife Ship Free sold them. This one can be yours for $180. $180 like it is. $200 with an ApostleP edge. It's the Bark River / RHK for Reed Hike-In Knives, Bushcrafter. Next up, we're going to stay in Escanaba for a genuine Bark River knife. But looky here, there are no labels anywhere on it. Another one from our connoisseur consignor, a Bark River junkie, who shall remain nameless. Had this one made for him at one of his trips to Escanaba. Again, it's going to come in a black left-handed bushcraft sheath. Now this is going to come with a matching fire steel. I'm going to include an ambi sheath with it. So if you're right-handed, let not your heart be troubled. Here's the knife. This is the Bark River Bushcrafter. Blade steel, CPM 3V. 3 7/8 inches of blade length. Lots of handle though, 4 11/16 of handle. Beautiful in the hand. Black and orange G10. Did I mention the matching fire steel? We have that. Condition is like new in the box. He had it made, tucked it away. So let's see. Right now these are out of stock. If you bought one at your favorite web retailer of Bark River knives, this would have run you about $250 web price. This one can be yours. And how much is that Bark River fire steel? A lot. So you're probably at $300. 2 sheaths. Your price, $220 shipped priority mail. That's the Bark River Bushcrafter 3V. Next up, here's something you'll never see made again. Not the model, but the material. From Bark River Knives, we have a Gunny Hunter in Elmax with antique ivory micarta scales. The people who made this antique ivory paper micarta are no longer, and their formula dies with them. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Comes in a bushcraft sheath with fire steel loop and a matching fire steel and antique ivory. With the red liners even. Look at that handle, my friends. Oh, it's so yummy. And what a great knife. The Elmax Gunny Hunter, 3 7/8 inches of blade. And 4 9/16 inches of handle. I should know that well. Condition, like new in the box. I don't know if the fire steel's ever been used. I kind of doubt it. Anyway. This one has a right-handed sheath, so that's the only sheath you get. It's gorgeous, guys. Near mint to like new in box. Might as well call it like new. This would have been $220 at your favorite web retailer. Plus, what, 50-ish for the fire steel. And a now extinct and much loved handle material. Your price, shipped priority mail, $200. And then $220 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. That's the Bark River Gunny Hunter Elmax. Next up, another piece of history. So those of you who are familiar with Randall Adventure Training, Rat knives, Essie knives, you're going to appreciate this one. So it comes in a plastic baggie. There's a little rat card, you know, the thing with all the stuff on it. A couple of them, as a matter of fact. And then it comes with this. So it's the Rat Cutlery RC5. It's not the SC5. It's the Rat Cutlery RC5. So this is it's kind of a pre-SE, but it's still some SE on the knife. It's pretty weird. Sheath manufactured by Eagle Industries. So lots of stuff going on. If you're into the SEs and the Rat stuff and you don't have one of these, you're going to want it. Here's that Eagle sheath in nylon. Very reinforced. Plastic liner. I don't think there's a stone. No, there's not. But there's lots of stuff going on there. Lots of stuff going on. I've got the knife in this Kydex, which appears to be configured for lefty, but since that dangle is Chicago screwed on, you can flip it around. That's totally ambidextrous. Give you something to do to bond with your knife. It fits pretty tight. Green epoxy crinkle coat. Natural canvas. The old Rat logo. But there's your ESEE. Rat Cutlery Company. 1095 steel. 5.5 inch, or 5 3/8 inch blade. 5.5 inch handle. Look how they sharpened the impact device after the coating. Pretty cool. Lanyard. Condition like new. You're going to see just a little bit of spotting on the sharpened edge, but it's like new. So you get the knife, both sheets, original baggie and paperwork. I found one of these sold listing on eBay for $214 plus 10 shipping, so $224. Probably wasn't this nice. Probably didn't have 2 sheets. This one can be yours. Shipped priority mail, $180, $210 for me to sharpen it. That is the Rat Cutlery RC5. Next up, and if you thought that was cool, my consignor actually went to get this knife. So it's a Tops knife. Here's your Tops cards. It's the model High Desert Survival Knife HDSK01 with left-hand sheath. That means I have it in here backwards? I do. Well, that makes more sense. So the plastic liner orients the knife. I think you could probably take the... Can you take out the liner and move it? I don't know. It's left-handed, guys. Anyway. Your normal top sheet. But check this out. These knives were... They were produced. You could buy them, but this one wasn't bought in a store. This is the John Campbell High Desert Survival School Knife by Tops, attended by my consignor, purchased at the school. Black G10 handle scales with red liners. It's got an attached lanyard, and get the full effect here. It kind of looks very Ron Hood to me, but anyway, a full 1/4 inch of stock on this thing, I believe. Let me make sure I measured it. I know I did. Yes, I did. It's a 1/4 inch stock. 6 3/16 inches of blade, 5 3/16 inches of handle, epoxy crinkle coat. It's like new in its original bubble wrap packaging. I don't know what they're worth. They're unobtainium. The short time they were available in stores, I think they sold in the mid 100s, and that's what you're going to pay for this. $150 like it is. $180 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Tops High Desert Survival. Next up, pretty cool knife coming up here, boys. It's a buck 119 special. And that's kind of a different sheath, isn't it? I think it is. This is a special factory order or a dealer exclusive for some place called Copper and Clad. I'm not familiar. I don't have a box with this one. I want you to check out this handle. But first of all, look at the tang stamp. Kind of interesting. And then over here, the Boss Heat Treat etch, and then 5160 for a blade steel. And look at the wood handle. I've looked at this 25 times. I can't tell if that's a laminated product, but it's pretty cool. But then you got your micarta spacers in your aluminum handle hardware. It's very cool. Very cool. And 5160. I've never seen one. Maybe you have. This one's like new, no box. And you have a plastic insert in that custom sheath too. Like new, no box. This is in your inventory as Buck 119 Special 5160 wood. Why? Because I have another one with a different handle material. Like new, no box. I think it's pretty rare. Your price $50, 80 with my edge on it. Next up, we got the sister. This one will come with the box. So this is another one that's a dealer exclusive for copper and clad. Note that sort of special sheath. So far it looks like any old Buck 119 Special, doesn't it? You got the black phenolic handle, the weight. What? It's full flat ground. And it's also in 5160 steel. And guys, it's skinny. That is freaking hot, man. So no fuller, no hollow grind. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So this is in your inventory as Buck 119 Special 5160 phenolic, but it's a flat ground. Like new, in box. Your price is going to be $50. 50, like it is. 80 with an ApostleP edge. Pretty cool. Next up, it's time for a real beast from Zero Tolerance Knives. What retailer puts their own stickers over that? It drives me crazy. Anyway, I don't know what the heck it is. We got a ZT0566. So this was kind of the budget Hinder design ZT. Instead of a titanium frame lock, the lock side is stainless steel. And instead of being a ball bearing flipper, it's speed safe, spring assisted technology on phosphor bronze washers. This one in Elmax. 3 3/8 inches blade, 4 7/16 inches a handle, Parkerized deep carry clip, reversible to 4 positions. Hinderer lock bar stabilizer. No stainless steel insert because the lock bar is stainless steel. Rock solid lockup. Perfect centering. Condition is used like new, just like the sticker said. Very, very nice example. Everything is dead squared away. You buy one of these brand new, it's going to run you $130. Or just buy this one, a like new, or darn close to it, for $100, shipped priority mail, $125 with an ApostleP edge. That's the ZT0566. Next up, man, they've sold a blue million of these. They have over at Zero Tolerance. We have a ZT0450CF, designed by Dmitry Sienkiewicz. What a handsome little pocket knife these are. Carbon fiber scale, DLC coated titanium frame, steel lock bar insert, black pocket clip, ball bearing flipper, beautiful little swedge drop point. Blade steel on this one's going to be S35VN. Nicely ground example too. The The edge stays nice and thin all the way back. Kind of nice. There's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. Blade centering is dead. 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 Oh, it flips well. Perfect example. Like new in the box. Want to buy a brand new and it's going to run you $196 at your favorite retailer. Or just buy this one. $130. $130 like it is $150 with an ApostleP edge on the ZT0450CF. Okay, now guys, here's a cool knife. Yeah, it's just a Boker Plus, and it comes, you know, in the flip top box. I've never seen one. I don't even know how old it is. So you look at the handle and you think Elmar Sear, right? It's a button lock auto. You got a safety. You look at the blade and you think, oh, it's one of those Kalashnikov, but it's not. It's interesting. Yeah. D2 blade, stonewashed. 3 5/16 inches of blade length, 4 9/16 inches of handle. It's called the Strike Auto Bowie. The Auto Strike Bowie. Those nicely checkered scales are in aluminum, black anodized. There's a little bit of wear around the clip, I noticed, but super in hand. I mean super in hand. There's a slight bit of vertical play. There just is. No side play. Beautiful centering and beautiful action. We're going to call it near mint to like new in box. I guess near mint. They sold for $50, but they're gone. Can't find them anywhere. I think it's got to be worth $40. It's a heck of a lot nicer knife than an AK-74. $40 like it is 60 sharpened on the Boker Plus Strike Auto Bowie. Next up, it's cold steel time, boys. We got a little bit of a mangled box, but it's a cold steel. It ought to have a mangled box. This is the AK-47 full size with the OD green G10 handle scales. The beautiful PVD coated blade in S35VN. Blade length on this one is 3.5. The handle 5 7/16. Rock solid triad lockup, beautiful action, and beautiful centering. I think it's pretty doggone close to perfect. Hard to see. Doggone black thing. Me and thumb plates just don't get along, but you can wave it. The action's free. I just suck at it. Condition on the S35 AK-47 is near mint to like new in box. They're discontinued. They're out of stock. When they were in stock, they sold between 100 and 120. This one can be yours. Near mint, maybe like new in box. $80 freaking dollars. Shipped priority mail. 100 with an ApostleP edge. That's in your inventory is cold steel AK-47. Next up, more cold steel. More cold steel. How about a mini AK-47? Huh, I think maybe you should just buy both. This is going to be the black G10 in the less aggressively textured, thinner variety. Now this has got a little bit of wear on the pocket clip, but that's about it. Beautiful PVD coated blade of CTS XHP, an unmolested edge. Let's see, how's the lockup? Rock solid. Action, nice and free. Centering is very close to perfect, if not perfect. So the mini AK, 2 3/4 inch blade with a 4 3/8 handle. These are discontinued and out of stock. When they were available, they were $105. This one can be yours for $70 like it is $90 with an ApostleP edge. The cold steel mini AK-47. Next up, one of my favorite cold steels. It's the Ultimate Hunter. I like it because of the handle. Now, some people say it's just got too much handle, but it's got lots of comfort. 3D machine, crowned, blasted G10. I think it's got both clips. Yep, it's got both clips. A blade, is it a drop? Is it a spear? I guess it's a spear. Flat ground from about 3/4 of its height down. Blade steel on this one's going to be S35. Beautiful satin finish, bi-directional. How's the lockup? You don't even need to ask. Nice free action. Perfect blade centering. Thwack Ola. Condition on the UH, like new in the box. These are still in production. You can buy a new one for $100, $110 web pricing, or just buy this one. $70 shipped priority mail, $90 with my edge on it. How are you gonna beat that? I said that was one of my favorite cold steels. This might be my favorite. I don't know. There's so many good ones. It's the code 4 clip point. You guys know the deal on this knife. A hard anodized coating on those aluminum handle scales. These weigh nothing. They're so thin. Oh. The clip point blade in CTS XHP bidirectional satin. Just gorgeous. Rock solid triad lockup. Super free action. Centering pretty doggone close to perfect. Condition is like new in the box. These are discontinued. They are out of stock. When you could buy them new, they were $80. You can't buy them new, but you can today. Like new in the box. Same price, $80 shipped. Priority mail, 100 with my edge on it. And guys, I think they're probably doing a little more than that. But that's a good one. 80 like it is, 100 sharpened on the cold steel code for clip point. Next up, I'm reaching all over the place here. I got a lot going on. Oh. Did I bump my camera? I don't know. Let's see, the last cold steel of the evening. It is the Raja 3. So we have a little stubby kukri is what we got. FRN handle scales. Very, very nice molded in texture. Thumb plate for wavage. Ooh, I cut myself. It's going to bleed. I know it is. Watch right there by my thumb. Right there. Come on. There we go. Anyway, blade steel AUS 10A. Beautifully stonewashed, full flat ground. Rock solid triad lockup. Centering looks pretty good. Yeah, it's really good. It might be off to the left just a hair. But look at that action. Is it bleeding more? It's not going to bleed. I suck at thumb plates. So yeah, 3.5 inches of blade. 4 13/16 inches of handle. You can grip it anywhere. It doesn't care. Beautiful knife. We'll call it near mint in box. I think there's a little wear on the end of the clip. Do I have another clip? If you're a lefty, just put the new left-handed clip on. Then it'll be like new. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $66 at your favorite web retailer. You can buy one though, even though they're out of stock. Here, $40 shipped priority mail, $60 with my edge on it. That's the cold steel Raja 3. The Raja 3. And I gotta stand up again because I got knives everywhere. Everywhere. Next up, from my favorite new maker, guys, Hogue Knives. And we have, I think they're sort of, this was their kind of breaking on the seam knife, the EX01. This one is the 34179 EX01. Look at that black and gray G-Mascus. The G-Mascus. Look how it does when you mill it. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Non-reversible clip on this one. So we got a button lock, phosphor bronze washer, thumb stud deployed knife. Or you can fling it if you don't like the studs. You can fling, not sling, fling. Anyway, cool knife. Alan Elishewitz designed. Very Elishewitz drop point. 154 cm steel, beautifully stone washed. 3.5 inches in blade length, 4.5 inches of handle. Beautiful ergos, even if you want to jump forward on it. Action's beautiful. Lockup is rock solid. Centering is perfect. Very, very nice. I love the little hidden lanyard post. Cool knife. This put Hogue on the map. This one's absolutely like new in the box. This knife's still being made. Web pricing fluctuating between $165 and $186 for a new one. This one can be yours, $110 like it is. $130 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Hogue 34179 EX01. Next up, that's another one from Hogue. Let's see, that was the EX01. This one is the EX02. Flipper in green G Mascus. Green G Mascus. Look at this, guys. Oh. Layered G10 milled to relieve its beauty, or reveal its beauty. What kind of a skull crusher is that? Again, the integrated lanyard post. So it's a stainless steel liner lock knife. That's interesting, isn't it? It's got a safety, but it's almost occluded by the pocket clip. It's not, though. You can actually use it. Stainless steel liner lock. Guys, I couldn't tell. I think it's on washers. But it flips like it's on bearings. It's on washers, though. Pretty sure it is. Nice detent, beautifully centered blade. Rock solid lockup. Very cool spear point. Again, an Alan Elishewitz design. DLC coated 154 cm blade. And blade length is 3 3/8. The handle is 4.5. Squared away knife. It's like new in the box. These are currently available online for $178 at your favorite retailer, or just buy this one for $100 shipped priority mail, $120 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Hogue EX02 Flipper. Next up, we have a little run of buck to wrap things up tonight. First, we have the Buck 842 Sprint Ops Pro. The Sprint Ops Pro with a beautiful blue and black layered G10 handle. Looks like an anodized aluminum backspacer. That deep carry clip I think is going to be for right-handers only. Now it's going to make me look. I gotta look, because it looks like it might accommodate. Yeah, that's the only clip, and it is not going the other way. Okay, never mind. So anywho, we got a flipper, and this one, again, I can't tell. I could not see light like you see through a ball bearing. I think it's on washers, but man, does it flip. Can that be on washers? I don't know. You guys are going to have to research it. It doesn't need bearings if it doesn't have them anyway. S30V blade, Paul Boss heat treat, DLC coated, 3-inch blade, 4 3/8 inch handle. It is a blackened stainless steel liner lock. Lockup is dead solid. Centering is dead down the middle. That's a pretty good effort from Buck. The only wear on this knife is on the end of the clip. It almost looks like it was done on purpose. I don't know if it had a little bitey end on it or what. Anyhow, this is going to be near mint in box. Clip noted. That's it. Web price on this knife, and it is currently available. It's going to be $135 at your favorite web retailer. This one can be yours $70. $90 with an Apostle P edge. That is the Buck 842 Sprint Ops Pro. Next up, the old is new again. We have a Buck. It's a 112 Slim Ranger. Slim Pro Ranger, actually. Why is it a Pro? Well, it's got G10 and an S30V blade. So it's the old 112 Ranger, the Mini 110, with black G10, 3-inch blade, and S30V with the Boss heat treat, thumb studs, and a pocket clip, which is deep carry and reversible left or right tip up. Other than that, it's a lockback 112. Works beautifully. Now, these aren't the most flippable knives. You're going to sweep it, okay? It's a Buck. Blade centering on this one, doggone it if it ain't almost perfect. Just favors the left ever so slightly. Look at that needle tip on that thing, huh? Condition on this one is like new in the box. Web price on these at your favorite retailer is going to run you $88. Then you probably have to pay some shipping, or you can just buy this like new in-box example for $60, shipped priority mail, 80 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Buck 112 Slim Pro Ranger. Next up, it's another Buck. This is the 347 Vantage Pro large size. And the Vantage was a knife they came out with, what, about 2013 maybe? And guys, they had a lot of problems. They just weren't made well, and they just sort of steadily chipped away at it. And this is a really nice example. This is a Pro, so you're going to get S30V blade, G10 scales, beautifully 3D machined, nice milled lines. You got your Buck anvil, shield. I don't think you have one on this. So if you're a lefty, you're going to cover up the shield when you move the clip. But if you're right-handed, you're not. Flipping action on phosphor bronze washers is squared away. Hollow ground S30V blade is 3 1/8 inches in length. Handle 4 7/16. Beautiful backspacer mounted reversible deep carry clip. Stainless steel liner lock. Beautiful engagement. Rock solid lockup. And I think it's pretty centered. You bet it is. That might be the best Vantage I've ever seen. It's like new in the box. Your price, not $95 like it would cost you from a retailer. Not even $75 or $60. How about $50 shipped priority mail? Having a little fun there. $70 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Buck 347 large Vantage Pro. That, my friends, brings us to the last knife in tonight's sale, and I saved you kind of a special one for last. It's a Buck limited edition knife, and it's going to say that it's a Ranger. What kind of a Ranger is it? Let's open the beautiful black leather sheath and find out. Oh my. We got black linen micarta, number 403 of 500, and the drop point blade, S30V, Paul Boss. There's your engraved number 403 out of 500. Oh, guys. And when they do these custom shop limited editions, they do a great grind. Nickel silver hardware. Oh, that black linen. Centering is off. You know, it wouldn't be a Buck, would it? Anyway. Beautiful lockup, rock solid, smooth action. Condition is like new in the box. Oh. I could not find a sold listing for this knife, even a current listing. I have no idea. Your price, and what was this knife? $150, $180 new? I don't know. How about 70 bucks? 70 like it is, 90 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Buck 112 Ranger limited edition. And that will bring us to the end of another knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm probably looking at the river go by, I hope, in Tennessee. Big riding day tomorrow. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Have at her, boys.